Welcome to our Gemara Shir. Gemara straight and simple. This is our Shir's called. We are now currently learning Masechet Shabbos. We're studying the very interesting and important sugya of how do you wear your talis or other long garments when you walk down the street. Sometimes people like to wear their clothes in a different way, to fold it from here, fold it from there if for reasons of convenience or for reasons of fashion. And sometimes it can involve the issur of carrying on Shabbos when instead of wearing your clothes, you're actually carrying your clothes, right? Thank you very much. So therefore, this subject is very, very important. And every page of Gemara learn is important, whether it's laloch or not. Welcome. We are here in Ma'am Lo'ez Ramat B'Shemesh and Baruch Hashem have the tremendous chus of learning and teaching Torah in Eretz Yisrael. This year, like all other shiurim, this year is for the in memory of my father, Menachem ben Akiva, for the very quick release of all the hostages and the end of this war and the coming of Mashiach. So, what did we say yesterday? Masechet Shabbos, Kuf Mem Zayin Amud Aleph, a little bit below the middle of the page. Yeah. My marzev. Yeah, the line starts with the word marzev. Yeah, marzev. It's about 10 lines from the end of the narrow lines. Yeah, from the narrow lines of the page. The line starts with the marzev b'shabes my marzev. Okay. Basically, we said yesterday that Ula ruled one is not allowed to wear his talis in a way that reminds you of a pipe or gutter or like a semicircular kind of pipe. What does it mean, Mein Marzu? There are three ways that I understood in the Rishonim. Rashi says Marzev means imagine yourself a woman wearing a long dress, or a man wearing a kapite, or somebody wearing a poncho, a long poncho. And for whichever reason, sometimes people do it in order to actually lift up their clothes because they're walking through mud, right? Or dirt, or thorns, or whatever, right? They want to keep the item clean. They're not concerned for themselves, but for the garment, you know? And they pick up the clothes and they create like all around the clothes, you have like this semicircle all around from the fact that it's lifted up, right? Lifted and like semi-folded. That is not allowed. According to Rashi, it's not allowed, not because you're carrying, because you're creating a beged, you're creating something, bepatish, because really what you're doing is, according to Rashi, you stitch it a little bit. You put some chutim there, you put some kind of threads, and that's a problem. That's one issue. Other Rishonim learn, Tosfos sounds like the Rambam. Marzev means when you take your talis on both sides, your shul talis, and you fold it over here like a pipe, yeah? And then the back it's all flat, and both sides, here and here, you have like it's all folded up like that. Others say that you created a like a triangle. Over here and here, you put the right to the left, left to the right. In the back, you have in the back you have like a triangle. What?
Like a Superman cape.
Superman cape, exactly. Yeah, Clark, you were the man, right? So then Clark, you used to wear like a big S over here, and over there it's like a triangle. So you may look like a Superman, but it's super osir because that is not the normal way of wearing it, and you're considered as carrying it. Today, oh, you brought the Mishnah Berurah, kol hakavod. We're going to see some Mishnah Berurah, very interesting stuff, and that's what we just learned now. Now. So it's my mazav and a kisi bavliosa. These are like the kisim. It's like a kiss. It's like a folded pocket. Yeah, it's like fold like a blincher. Still under the pressure of of Shavuos. Rabbi Yirmiyah Hava Yosef Kamed Rab Zera. Story. Rabbi Yirmiyah would sit in front of Rab Zera, and Rabbi Yirmiyah is known throughout Shas to be the very yekish kind of a moira. Rabbi Yirmiyah always goes into the fine details. I've seen it many, many times. Rabbi Yirmiyah wanted to know practically speaking, yeah, Omerle, Rabbi Yirmiyah he actually he stood in front of Rabbi Yirmiyah and showed him all kinds of positions of talis. Omerle, hachi mai, if I fold my talis this way, what's the halacha? Omerle, osir. V'achimai, folded the other way. What? Amar le'oser. So there are all types of ways when you fold your talis where it's oser. What's the rule? Rav Papa is going to tell us the rule. Amar Rav Papa, nikot haiklol biyodcha. This is the rule which you should hold in your hand. This is the rule which you should go by. What is that? And this is the rule that follows us all the way through 2025 and beyond. Kol adaita de lekenufi osur, kol de lisno is shari. I'm going to skip Rashi, B'kol HaKoved, and speak according to Rambam and many other Rishonim. And the following statement means as follows, according to them. What's your mind? What's in your mind? If adaita de leknufi, let's say you take your talis, yeah? And remember the first case we spoke about, which we said is the Niso de Oraisa, you take your talis all the way, your shul talis, yeah? All the way from the back and you move it to the front. It's like some modern people wear it, right? They wear the talis all in the front, right? In shul. You see some small little white kippah. I'm not making fun. Kol hakavod, they come to shul. It's very nice as long as they left the car at home. But it's really admirable. Yeah, a tiny little kippah, Yerushalayim Shel Zov, and the talis, blue and white, shiny, is draped over here. Baruch Hashem, kol hakavod, really. So, no, I'm saying, Baruch Hashem. Yeah, so Lamaisa, when the talis is all draped to the front, most normal people don't wear it like that. Yeah. So if you wear the talis, it's supposed to be long and all the way in the back in a long garment, and you wear it all the way in the front, it's chiyuv chatas. Why? You're carrying it, you're not wearing it. Here comes the Gemara with the rule. If the reason why you wear it is because it's the knufi lechanef, to collect, you want to collect your talis because you don't want the talis to get muddy. You don't want the talis to get creased. You don't, for whichever reason, you don't want the talis to be seen from the back. I don't know. Then it's osir, and sometimes it's even chiyuv. Depends how much of a carrying it is. But, and here comes a huge exception to the rule, shari. Let's say from now on, all the young people, along with the small hats and the pins, all the new fashions they have today, we all have teenagers, right? Lehisnois, if the new fashion is you wear your talis instead of the back, when you walk down the street, you wear it in the front. That's all the Haredi movie stars, that's what they do. Let's say that becomes a new fashion. Then it's allowed. Why? Because that's what he likes to wear for fashion. And we said originally yesterday, if you wear something in order to look good, to look nice, fashionable, and all hunky, then what? That's allowed. You're wearing it crazy. It's not crazy. And the Rishonim say in Barcelona, Catalonia, Spain, the Chassanim and the young people nowadays, they have a new way of wearing the talis. They had fashion back then it's allowed. Because they're not wearing it because they want to carry the talis, just more conveniently for the talis. They wear it for fashion, and that's why it's allowed. Rashi learns differently because Rashi still holds by his old shita from before. They were talking about creating a beged. So Rashi says liknufa means when you leave it for a long time, that's not allowed. If it's only for beauty, you only do it for one Shabbos, for a little bit, then it's allowed. Because he has his own shita. Kihada of Shisha Bereda Avidi. We're going to bring a proof of what we said. I made the bracha before. Kihada of Shisha Bereda Avidi. Misna bisdina hava. Yeah, he would beautify himself with his sardin. The sardin is a very simple kind of garment. He would wear the sardin in a fancy, fashionable way, and that was allowed. Ki also of dimi. Now we're going to talk about a new case. Listen to the new case. Imagine yourself somebody who wears his shul talis, instead of it being draped on the shoulders, he puts it all the way here. He puts it all the way. Yeah, the talis is supposed to go, let's say, all the way close to the shoulders. Let's say that's a normal way, which is debatable. Let's say everybody wears it all the way down to cover their, let's say, their arms, their biceps, their arms, and somebody takes it all up here and puts the talis, yeah, all here and all here. So now, Kiosadov, yeah, Kiosadov Dimi. Rav Dimi came from where to where? He came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel. Rav Dimi and Rabin were two of the Meroim used to travel back and forth from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel. Rav Dimi came from Eretz Yisrael and he told the big news to the people of Bavel. And he said, Omar, Rebbe residing in Eretz Yisrael, of course, Rebbe went to the field. As I told you, both sides of the talis, instead of being draped down here, which was normal, he collected it and constricted it over here. Yeah, he was limiting it to this area. And Omar Lefon of Yeshua ben Ziruz, approached him and told him off. Who is Yeshua ben Ziruz? Ben Chomiv shel Rabbi Meir, the son of the son-in-law of Rabbi Meir's grandson. And he told him, Bazu loch yev Meir chatas? Wouldn't Rabbi Meir ma'izedi b'mechayiv yu chatas? In other words, because you're not wearing it, you're collecting it. You're just carrying the talis over here, and you're not doing it for reasons of fashion because you think it's nice. You just think that whatever for convenience, that's how you carrying the talis here instead of here. Omer le diktika b'meir ad kan. So now Rabbi is a bit doubtful about that, and he says, "Is Rabbi Meir that particular ad kan?" Which means the previous case we had before is you take the back of the talis and the whole back of the talis, which is supposed to be all the way down to your back of the knees, basically, you take it and put it in the front. That's very different. So there you have a very stark dichotomy between wearing and carrying. Here, all I'm doing is I'm just lifting it a bit. Such a big difference between here and here. Don't get overly excited and call it tichiyuv chatas. However, shil shel Rebbe talisoi. At the end of the day, Rebbe did accept what he said, and he draped it down. Shil shel shilshul. He took it down and he allowed it to flow and be draped down his shoulder and his arm. Now, I don't know if Rebbe believed it's the Oraisa, or maybe Rebbe just wants to play it safe. And Midorabanan, he believes it's better to refrain. Yeah, but at the end of the day, he did accept the fact that it's not recommendable to do it. Yeah, because it is either real carrying or similar to carrying. So even that piece of side of the talis to be located here instead of here, to collect it all the way here and have too much fabric here, is already a problem. Now, a very similar version to the same story. Kioso Rabin Omar, I told you, Rabin was the other Moira who would travel back and forth from Babel to Eretz Yisrael. Rabin came from Eretz Yisrael, again, speaking to the Talmidim in Babel, and he had a different version to the same story. And he said, Lo Yoshua ben Ziruz Hava. I know that story, but it wasn't Yoshua ben Ziruz that spoke, Ela Yoshua ben Kfusoi hoyo. It was Yoshua ben Kfusoi, who was he Chasana shel Rabbi Akiva. It was Rabbi Akiva's son-in-law who came and rebuked Rabbi, and Omar, and he approached Rabbi, who wore his talis all the way up here. Bezu lochiev Rabbi Akiva chatas. Wouldn't Rabbi Akiva my shver? Wouldn't Rabbi Akiva be mechayev chatas on that? Omar loy, and Rabbi's response, just like in the old story, Diktik Rabbi Akiva ad kan. Come on, don't get carried away. You tell me mechayev chatas. In other words, I understand when you wear a talis all the way from the back all the way to the front, that's like insane. But if you just move the location of the shoulder, that's no. However, according to this version too, Shil should Rabbi Talisoi. Rabbi, at the end of the day, did agree. He did kind of give in, and he said, "Yeah, to play it safe, I will not collect it all the way over here and lift it over here, but rather I would drape it down like everybody else does, because either the Rice or the Rabbanon, one level or the other, I'm not playing games." He also Rav Shmuel bar Rav Yehuda Omar Nishal Itmar. Rav Shmuel bar Rav Yehuda, apparently that's new for me. He was also an Amoira who would travel back and forth, apparently. And he said a very similar story, but he said it wasn't Rebbe who ever did it. He was asked, yeah? The question was asked to Rebbe, and that was the response. It was back and forth, but it never really happened to Rebbe. At this happy note, it's really kedai to look in the Shulchan Aruch. I don't know if we'll actually see the Mishnah Berurah inside, because it's a lot. I recommend you now open the Mishnah Berurah. Yeah, you have the Mishnah Berurah, very nice. Siman Shin Aleph. We're going to see how these things actually play halacha l'maaseh, and this applies. Some things apply to men who walk to shul. We spoke about the men. I think I actually regret what I said yesterday. It sounded as if I disapprove of what people do in chutzatz. It's not true, because there will be now explanation to what people do in chutzatz when they take the talis and they fold it partially under their jacket. Shin Aleph. What's that?
I think it's a different seeker. It's the one before this one.
Oh, Chaval, right.
I tried.
Okay, you meant well. Sorry. Okay. You can listen, Bape. You're a good listener. Okay. Says the Shulchan Aruch, Hayoytze betalis mukupelas al kseifov. That's the first case. Dainu shelacha shenot al roishon. You tell us talis on the head. Magbia shule al kseifov. That's most extreme. That's chayv chatas. That's the worst. Yeah, that's the case all the time. You take all the way from the back, and you boom, fold it to the front. You have four tzitzis over here. Get it? Two and two. That's like extreme. The difference in position from carrying to wearing is stark. Chayv chatas. Why is chayv chatas? Because some people that's how they carry their clothes. Yeah, people who sell shawls, they sell scarves, they sell talis. That's how they walk around the market. So you chayv chatas. Aval. Oh, this is not important to know. This is the part we were missing yesterday. Im eine mekuperes al ksefov and the meshulshenes baruch be'lumatem ksefov showing, which means, let's say you didn't fold it all the way there, but you folded it in the back. Let's say you folded it, maybe you held it in your pants, yeah? You did lift it, and you created some kind of fold in the back. Yeah, it's not flowing all the way down like it's supposed to be, like when you daven Shemona Esrei in shul. You somehow lifted it, maybe under your jacket, right, or under your kapita, and you somehow supported it and you fold it in the back. That is allowed. Why? Sheme'achar shemistatef betalisa umiskasa b'kseifa v'gufoi afal pi shemiskatza k'tzasem lamata mutar. In other words, since generally speaking the shape is more or less the same, your body and your shoulders are more or less normally covered by the talis the normal way, even though it's a little bit miskatzel, it's a bit short from the back. Yeah, you like lift it and you put some of it in your pants or in your belt or something, your girdle, that's allowed. Oh, Valpizeh, and this is now what we spoke about yesterday. This way, the people in Hitz Uretz are doing okay. Says Shulchan Aruch Mufurash, Valpizeh mutar listatev betaliso tachas aglima, ulavil beis hakneses. Yeah, let's say you're scared of anti-Semites. Yeah, let's say you live in a place where there are anti-Semitic people, not in the Western world or England, America. There's no anti-Semitism over there at all. I'm saying live in, I don't know, Ukraine 200 years ago. That's when these things happen, right? And and what about the talis? You're not going to walk down the street wearing a talis, right? You crazy? You go with a jacket. As it is, it looks strange. Yeah? So what do? It's okay. Even if there's no sakona, you're allowed to wear your talis under the glima, under your coat, under your jacket, under your kapita, and walk like that to shul. There are other questions here which I'm not going into because that's just the general concept. Next Shulchan Aruch Lamed, yeah, all of a sudden, Shulchan Aruch is in with a surprise. Says the Shulchan Aruch, Motor lotzis b'shul sarabim b'talis v'tzava. Did you hear that? Motor lotzis b'shul sarabim b'talis v'tzava. End of line. You're allowed to walk out to the Shul Sarabim, no eruv, no anti-Semitism, no nothing, regular thing, and the talis is all around your neck, and it's fine. What's going on over here, right? Very easy. What did we say? Depends what's the fashion. Yeah, that would be a nice title for my YouTube title. When fashion dictates halacha. Yes, in other words, if it's normal for people for reasons of beauty and they look respectable and nice and cool, they're going to get such an amazing shidduch if they look like such a cool guy wearing the entire talis all the way up here, all four sides here, then gesund head, because they're not carrying it because of any other side reason for the clothes. They're carrying it for themselves. It's not carrying. I like wearing it that way. Why do you wear a jacket on Shabbos in the summer? I do. Why? I want to look nice, respectable, Lekovat Shabbos. I'm Baruch Hashem, Haredi guy, and I wear a suit, a black suit. That's the way to go, right? Do I need it? Yes, I need it for my self-esteem, for the way I should look and the way people look at me. Yeah, and therefore it's not crazy. So when you wear a talis that way, everything in the front, if that's considered normal fashion-wise, gesundheit. That's the rule. It's that easy. Comes the Ramah. That Ramah is a B'chalokas Achronim. If what the Ramah is about to tell us applies to the first Shulchan Aruch or the second, but Lemais at the end of the day, let's just look at the Ramah separately. Afal b'shemnech tzad yamin al ksefa shel small, the derech lelov shekach v'lov lisnos v'shari. Even if you wear the right side to the left and the left to the right, yeah, if it's for beauty, then it's okay, and that's not called a marziv. Let's say the beauty is I wear this and that. If you wear it in order to keep it tight so it shouldn't fall, that's another shaila. But if it's lisnos, let's say the fashion is to wear the crisscross fashion. This side of the talis here, that side over there, like that. Oh, that's a cool guy. He's the coolest guy in the Chevra and Yeshiva. So then what? Givaldig? So shari, that's good. Yes.
But doesn't that leave it as up to subjective?
Very good. Excellent. I love the question and I'm very grateful to ask it because the way I said it could be very misleading. Thank you very, very much. True, 100%. The rule is it normal by many people in the country? Very good. In other words, if everybody else doesn't wear it and only he does, that's a problem because batla daiter tzol kolodom. You can't rule halacha by your own mishigas. But if not even everyone. I don't know how many percentage. Let's say 50% of the people wear it like that. I'm just giving a number. It says yesh anoshim, some people, then it's okay. Then it's not subjective. Everyone's wearing it like that, even during the week. That's the normal way. Normal way, so that's called normal. Lamed Aleph, I was very happy to see. I had to learn Lamed Aleph a few times. Lamed Aleph is actually very nogay ala halacha. Lamed Aleph is taking us back to Mr. Marzev. What did we say about the Marzev, according to Rashi at least? Let's say you have, imagine yourself, you're wearing a cape, a poncho, from the soft ones, a toga, a dress, if the woman is a woman, yeah, a vechule, a long kapita. Kapita is actually a bit different. Let's imagine ourselves at the beginning something that's not sleeveless, that's worn without sleeves, like a poncho, yeah, that's over the shoulders without sleeves. Oh, listen to this carefully. למד א', יש לך רבנו, למד א', היוצא מעוטף בטליסוי וקיפלה מכאן ומכאן ביודו על כספוי. Oh, now you have this long flowing thing, and you are collecting the fabric that's supposed to be flowing all down to your, even over your hands, and you're collecting it here. You're now wearing it here on your arms or on your shoulders. אם נזכוון לקבץ כנופיו כדי שלא יקרעו, so it shouldn't get torn by the thorns, או כדי שלא יסלח לכו, so they shouldn't get dirty, osur. It's osur, because you're taking the whole tsura, it's supposed to be all flowing down. That's a nice fashionable way to wear it, and sanua and good, and you are collecting it, and you're really carrying it. I want the beged. People will be smart and say, but I want the beged not to be dirty. It's my need. Of course, it's ultimately your need. But right now, it's the need of the beged. Right now, you're protecting the beged, not yourself. It's not your beauty, your protection. It's protection of the beged, and you're really carrying more fabric on your arms. That's forbidden. V'im kibtzam lisnaus b'kaminag ansha makoim. B'malbushan mutar. If you collected it because that's a fashionable thing to do, and all the fashion magazines, they say that's what you have to do if you want to be part of society, and that's what people really do, then it's allowed, because that's considered wearing. The hanimili, oh, here comes good news. The hanimili, that's only true, and this is an addition of the Rishonim, the Bes Yosef explains, but talitus sheloim sheiriachas mo'bas. As I told you, when you wear the poncho or the cape that's supposed to be all draped all over here, right? And you're collecting it up, that's a very different way of wearing it. You're changing the whole tsura of the beged. Aval malbushim didan, our clothes, our garments, kshulovush ben memoitzi yodav misoichom. Oh, normal levush today, you have sleeves. Your kapita. Your kapita is long, or your long frock over litvish or yeshiva, or a woman. They have sleeves, long sleeves, and they have something flowing down. Oh, so then it's different. When you wear it normally with your hands out, which means, let's say a woman wants to keep her clothes clean and fancy. She's invited to a kiddush on the other side of town. That's very common. And the place is a new neighborhood, Ramat Bet Shemesh 15 and a half, yeah. And it's very dusty. And it's very muddy, right? It's a whole construction site. So what does she do? She takes the bottom of her dress and she picks it up a little bit, as long as it's below the knees, yeah, hopefully. So then what? That is allowed. Why? Why? As long as it's just a little bit, just some biyodoi, it's okay, because you're not changing the whole shape of the levush. When it's supposed to be all draped on top of my shoulders and I'm collecting it on top, meaning inside here, the whole tsura is very different. That's already across the red line from wearing to carrying. Mashenkin, if the dress looks like a regular dress, she wears the dress the normal way. She just picked it up a little bit, it's okay. Why a little bit is okay? Because if you do a lot of it and you mamish collect it all the way up and it looks like a semicircle, that's marzev. So if a woman or a chassid with a kapite or a Litvish guy or a chazonishnik or a brisker, there are many people in the Jewish nation who likes to wear long clothes. If you are walking down a place where there is no eruv, then, and you want to pick up your clothes, do it very gently, just pinch a little, just pick up a little bit, like that. Don't start picking it up all the way to the level of your hands, or above the hand, says the Mishnah Berurah, because that's when it mamish becomes like a whole semicircle all around you, you look like a clown, that's already considered as carrying. Because you have the whole area of that semicircle being picked up and being carried. That's already too much. one more, and then we go to the Mishnah. Now we're going to skip to Lamedaled. Oh, very good, Lamedaled. There was a second case of the Gemara. It's beautiful to see how the Gemara plays out. Mamish la'alocha. Mamish, applies. Says the Shulchan Aruch, Yotzod besudar. Remember, talis is not a sudar. Sudar is a scarf. And mekupa al kseifoy. Yeah, it's all sudar usually is a little bit more flowing, and Mr. and so decided to wear it more hugging the neck. Let's say it's what? Let's say it is. What is it? If it's normal, then it's okay, right? Oh, remember, even though he was walking fast or running and he may fall, we rely on the fact that it's not going to fall. So even though he doesn't have a thread connecting into his finger as a safety mechanism, that it's not going to fall, it's okay. That's something else which we didn't learn, so I'm not going to go into it. The Kitzer, that's a rule. That's a rule. The rule is what we've seen now. If you do it for reasons of fashion, it's okay, as long as it's accepted all over the country, the region, the city. Well, that's another shaila, but it's very, very common in the country, countrywide. That's where to wear the lavush. Then it's okay. If you don't wear it in order to be fashionable, you wear, meaning you carry, you fold it over for reasons of you don't want the clothes to get hurt in whichever reason. Then it's already a problem. Okay, very good. Next Mishnah, again, it's a big sugya. We're just tasting the beauty of each sugya over here. Says the Heilige Mishnah, "Aroichetz b'mei me'oro." A person who washes, and we're going to read the whole sentence, and then we'll explain the me'or and tveria. A person already washed he bathed himself in the water of the me'ora. Me'ora here is a cave that has heated water. Not naturally heated water, actually. That's important to know. Water that was heated on Erev Shabbos by people, by human beings, and it's in a cave. Sounds like something very fancy. You know, today I have hotels inside a cave. Very nice. So now, are you allowed to take a hot bath on Shabbos if the water was heated before? No. Haroichetz means he did it against halacha, and now we're going to see what's going to happen next. Ube Tveria. Tveria is a natural spa, and that is allowed. In Daf Mem Amud Aleph, in the bottom of the page, we said, I'm impressed with the memory, really, very kol hakavod. Tveria was the only thing that they still allowed people to wash in on Shabbos as far as hot water goes, and that's okay to do now. So what's the story with this guy who took the forbidden bath or the permitted bath? Venistapag, now, what do you do when you get out of the water? First thing you do, you make shechionu. What do? You wipe yourself, you dry yourself with a towel. Afilu be'eser aluntios. Even if you dried yourself with 10 different towels, lo yaviem beyodoi. You're not. Let's say you have a place inside the eruv. This is nothing to do with eruv and wearing and all that. You are in Ramat Beit Shemesh. Baruch Hashem, we have 3 eruvim around the neighborhood at least. There are, yeah. You're not allowed to bring beyodoi. Don't bring the towel with your hands. Why? Because even though it's 10 towels, which means a towel number 8, 9, and 10 are barely wet, right? You dried yourself and again, so some of the towels are not so wet anymore. You're still not allowed to bring it because we're concerned you may come to wring it. You may come to come and squeeze out the water as you walk along. By the way, a lot of this Mishnah, interestingly, a lot of the things we see in the Mishnah are not lahalacha. So I'm just warning people who are watching it at home, they don't watch us every day. What you hear now, a lot of it is not halacha, including this. In other words, you are allowed to bring back the towel from the mikveh on Shabbos. As far as I know, also good for Shalom Bayis reasons, right? Did you forget your towel in the mikveh again? Well, so no, bring the towel back and keep her happy. Okay, so now that's a point. However, the Mishnah itself is concerned. Don't bring the towel, even if it's not an ear issue. You may come to squeeze it. Yeah, it's all wet and thicky and this. You may come to wring. Don't do that. Aval, however, the contrast case. Asor bnei odom mistapgin baluntis achas pneim yadem v'ragleim. Let's say 10 people who all went out of the mikveh and they all dried themselves with one towel. I don't want to be person number 10. Yeah. Let's say, which means it's very, very full of water. Water of 10 people have been absorbed in that one miserable towel. They're allowed to bring that home back together. Why? Aren't we concerned of schita? The answer is the power of many. As we saw in David Beis and in other places, a lot of people together are going to remind each other. When you're on your own, you may forget and come to ring it to squeeze. But when you have Reuben, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Beryl, and Shmerel all around you, they're all going to remind each other. They won't come to do schita. Why does it say pnei midem v'raglaim? Lav dafka. Whatever, even if they dry their entire body. Next, let's see more about human body care. This mission is all about body care. Sachin, a person on Shabbos, you tell me, is it okay to take completely runny oil that's runny, liquidy? There's no issue of memareyach, and there's no issue of refuah. You take the oil and you smear it on your body. Good or not good on Shabbos? מה פוסק הרב? מה פוסק מרן? למה אסור? מותר. Because why? It's okay. It's not refuah, right? It's not refuah. It's time for fun. You want to smear some oil, not cream. The oil is runny. There's no issue of me doing memareh, right? Healthy guy, no skin issues. That's okay. Paket, I don't know the chiddushes, by the way. It's allowed. It's allowed. Halacha. Umemash machine. Memash machine means, question, are you allowed to make a massage on Shabbos? If it's memash machine, it's a gentle massage just for fun. More like petting, stroking kind of massage, very nice and gentle. Nothing, Swedish, something light. That's allowed because that's not called refuah or uvda dechol. It's a fun thing. Avaloi misamlin. Misamlin may mean one of two things. Misamlin may mean a strong massage. A strong massage when it starts, tearing apart your body, and that's medicinal, or uvda dechol, that's already not allowed. Or some people say, by the way, hit amlut in Hebrew means what? Gym, right? So you're not allowed to cause yourself midorabanan to sweat, unless you have to do real hit amlut that causes sweat is not allowed on Shabbos. Yeah, same idea. Why? Uvda dechol. It's not a Shabbos-dik thing to do. You want to do gym that's very healthy, 6 days a week. Unless medical reasons, normally that's not allowed. Veloy misgardin, you're not allowed to scratch yourself on Shabbos. What does that mean? You're allowed to scratch yourself like this with your hands. But let's say you have a special, some kind of device that's meant just for girud. You have a special knife or so, some kind of blade that you...
Sure.
A back scratcher, okay? Yeah, that's okay. You always have the good terms, yeah? You have a back scratcher, don't use it on Shabbos. The Tiferes Soul says you can use a special one for Shabbos, but not the one during the week. It's Uvda Dechol. Beware of the fact that if you scratch a wound, that's for sure also. You're not allowed to cause yourself to bleed. You can die from, not die, I mean, it can be very annoying. You can't scratch yourself. Sometimes you have a fungi or any other thing you want to scratch, but if the scratching will cause bleeding, that's also. So don't do that. Yeah, Mesiras Nefesh. Yeah, and Yodin Kordima is the whole story. The certain specific kind of lake or pond called Kordima. On Shabbos, you're not allowed to go there. The Gemara will explain why. It's a dangerous place. You can drown. We'll see. Shabbos, Yom Tov, Chol, to be discussed. Next, please. Ve'en oisin apik tvizin. One is not allowed to cause himself to do what? To vomit, to throw up on Shabbos. Apik tvizin. Apik, take out. Tvi, cooked or roasted. Tovi. Zin is zan, as hazan esakol, mazon. Don't take a medication that causes you to throw up. These do exist today. Yeah, some people use it for whichever reason, healthy or unhealthy, bulimia, all these things. Yeah. So now piktvizin should not be used in Shabbos. Again, because of various reasons. It's uvda dechol. Could be it's refuah for some people. In Daf, where was it before we mentioned kufchav something? It was like boine, like you're building yourself inside. Bekitzer, don't do it on Shabbos. If you throw up, you throw up. It happens. But to cause, by taking medication that causes you to throw up, that's not allowed on Shabbos. Next thing, the en atzvin es a cotton. Le'atzev, in both biblical Lashon Kodesh and modern Hebrew, what's le'atzev? To design. You're not allowed to design the baby. What does it mean, design her baby? It means to say that, let's say the baby, when he's young, then sometimes his joints are not so, it's a bit disjointed, yeah? His limbs are not so much in place. You're not allowed to place him, put him in the same, not allowed to put his bones back into place. Again, this is talking not on the first day. The first day of the birth, you are allowed to. And there are many exceptions to this rule, and it's not so simple. This is true halacha. It's allowed by goyim. We're going to discuss it later. But conceptually, you can't build up, so to speak, the baby to the right shape, because that is again, it could be similar to boner. Could be there is boner by people conceptually. The ein machzirin is a shever. Let's say a person has a shever, a fracture. You're not allowed to bring it back. You can't, you can't like today. You put a cast on Shabbos. This is not lalocha nowadays. Nowadays they say that if there's a little bit of a bone, it's going to the blood circle. It's dangerous. But meikar din, the din of the Mishnah, you're not allowed to be machzir, take a broken bone and put it back in the place. Mishanifra kayod v'raglo. That's not a breakage. It's not a fracture, but it's disjointed. It basically was detached from the place, the hand or the foot. Lo yitlofim b'tzoyinen. You're not allowed to take a cold shower on the place in order to help it. You're allowed to wash normally, and if it healed, it healed. Okay, this Mishnah needs a lot of understanding, and Be'ezras Hashem, we will understand it soon. We will continue now to the Gemara. We still have 4 more minutes, and most of this Mishnah will explain Be'ezras Hashem tomorrow. Zog the Gemara. Tani, what was the first part of the Mishnah? Let's not get lost. I just have to 1 second, please. Excuse me for half a second. What did the beginning of the Mishnah tell us? A person, what's haroichetz? He already bathed in the water of the cave or the water of the natural spa of Tiberias, of Tiberia, and they're both mentioned together. Why are they mentioned together? And why is the Lashon haroichetz? Which means he did it already, which means he was not supposed to, but he did it against our will. Why? Ma meit chamin, af me me'oro chamin, which means, why here we're talking about it, but the Eved situation, he did something that was wrong, because we compare and we hint to the fact that the mei me'ora are also hot. Just like Mei Tveria are hot, that's all it is, hot springs, so too the Mei Me'ora are hot. However, the Mei Me'ora are not Mei Tveria. So who heated them? Elionovi? People. So if people heated the Mei Me'ora on Friday in order to use it on Shabbos, very good. That's why it's the Eved, because on Shabbos, unless it's Mei Tveria or natural spa, if you have humanly heated water, man-made water, so to speak, that's not allowed to be used on Shabbos for bathing. Okay? Michlal, comes the Gemara's Medayik, Michlal, the lishtatif kol gufoi, afilu l'chatchila dami, shapir dami. Oh, you're telling me rochetz. Rochetz means to bathe, to go in and sink your body, so to speak. I mean, to really, sink in, allow yourself to, enjoy the bath water being inside. That's not allowed. Batli shtatef, which means to sit in the bath, which is shallow, and do what? And take hot water and pour on yourself. That's lishtatef. Like that was an old-fashioned shower. In the Roman bath, they used to do that. To take water and pour on themselves. Yeah? Mashma, even the entire body. L'chatchila shaper dami. That is okay, right? In other words, to bathe inside is usher. Mashma, one level before that is okay. Mani, who is this opinion? Who is Artana that forbids bathing but allows basically a shower? Rab Shimoni, it's Rab Shimon. The Tanya, we had it in Daf L'Metes Amud Beis. I just learned it to the Talmud. The Tanya, lo yishtatef odom ben bechamin ben betzoy nidiv Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir does not allow you to shower with hot or cold. Even cold is also for other reasons. Rab Shimon matir both. Rabbi Shimon says it's okay. Bathing is also Chazal were metakin. You know why they didn't allow you to bathe? Because people would lie. The Balonim, they were never nice people. The Balon nowadays they are nice, nothing personal. The mikveh attendants or the bathhouse attendants were not good people, and they would lie. They would actually tell everyone, "No, we heated it on Friday," and really they heated it on Shabbos, Michal Shabbos. They also had issues. The other thing, Mishkov Zocher, they were not good guys. Yeah. It says somewhere else, Mipnei Deraver, that they had gay issues. The kids are so that it says in Rosh Hashanah. Yeah. So then So bathing is for sure also. Lishtatif is not as bad. Lishtatif is like one step, more like less of a chitza. So that far says Reb Shimon, there was no gzera. The gzera was mamish going inside the whole thing to just pour myself as I. That level Chazal were not goes according to Reb Shimon. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Rabbi Yehuda says middle of the road. Rabbi Yehuda is the tiebreaker. Rabbi Yehuda is the balance in between. And he says, B'chamin also b'tzoyin muto. And that's halacha. Rabbi Yehuda says, B'chamin you can't bathe, b'tzoyin you're allowed to bathe. Again, nowadays the Mishmur gives other reasons why showering in cold water, not so l'chatchila. Ravabi allows it, right? To take a cold shower, I think, or am I wrong, or you don't know, whatever. Fine, I think so, but I think so too. Cold showers, I think for Ashkenazim is more of a problem, but me'ikra din, a hot shower is for sure also, even if it was heated from before. A cold shower is okay. Me'ikra din gemara today sometimes is also allowed if you really need to. V'chulei. Shkoyech. Wow, we finished a lot today. And the Mishnah Berurah. Kuf Mem Zayin Amud Beis. What's tomorrow? Thursday. Kuf Mem Zayin Amud Beis. Next week, I may not be a Wednesday, Thursday, maybe, but we'll talk during the week. Shkoyech, thank you so much for coming. Atzlacha uvracha to everybody here and all over the world.